Long time ago, Israel Adesanya got bonked on the head. The year is 2010, and in some shady underground Japanese promotion, two elite high-level kickboxers are fighting to the death for like 8,000 yen. It's a highly contested fight, until it isn't. Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira went back and forth for most of the fight, and it was a great fight. But then, in the final round, Izzy got hit by a left hook from hell. He just got his head fucking blasted. He got hit so hard, he started watching anime, so something must have seriously been wrong with his brain. Okay, but you know how the story goes from here. Fast forward 10 years and he's the UFC World Champion after capturing the title. So it's UFC 281 and his opponent is... oh no. Scary Brazilian man again. The motherfucker who hits hard as fuck. Alright, let's talk about UFC 281. So anyway, Dominic Reyes fucking died. This honestly felt illegal to watch. Like one of those terrorist videos you see on the internet of someone getting their head cut off. Like it genuinely felt sickening. I feel like after the John Jones loss, Dominic Reyes is just not the same. He got his head caved in by Jan Blachowicz. He then got his face obliterated by Yuri Prochazka. And now the cunt's been hit so hard, he literally has been sent to the fucking Shadow Realm, never to return. So Michael Chandler and Dustin Poirier obviously threw hands. I think it was a pretty safe guess that these two were just going to stand in the middle and just try and throw hands with one another for some reason. Dustin Poirier is just that type of guy that is always in exciting fights and is just always trying to look for high-paced action, and same for Chandler. It was an amazing fight and a bloody war, and there was a part where Michael Chandler was just leaking blood everywhere. It was pretty amazing as a fan. They then went to the ground and Dustin Poirier ended the fight in the third round with a submission. It was a great fight and an absolute war. Then Dustin went backstage and sucked his cock. Next up is Carla Esparza and Weili Zhang. For about 7 minutes I watched two small women beat the shit out of each other, and I'm definitely going to hell. The first round was pretty decent and pretty competitive. You could have given it to either party, but honestly most people gave it to Zhang. I actually kind of had it for Esparza, but most people said I was crazy. Round 2 begins and then Zhang just kind of destroyed her, and it was like, okay, well, there it is. That's what we thought would happen. Alright, let's talk about the main event. Let's talk about the good shit. Nearly a decade ago, they already fought and Adesanya lost, and it's hung over his mind for the last 10 years, and now he finally gets a shot at redemption. It's the perfect story. It felt like there was a lot riding on this one, because this is the first time in a long time that a true kickboxer with similar height and reach and other attributes were going to measure up to our champion. And the difference was, this wasn't a kickboxing fight. They had smaller gloves and there were different rule sets. Clinch and the ground game played a huge factor in this fight as well, and really diversified this match and separated it from the first two fights. First round was pretty close at first, but Stylebender ultimately edged it, and at the very end of the round, he punched Alex in the head so fucking hard. 1-2 right in the chin. It really seemed like things were going status quo for Stylebender, and it seemed like he was going to be the champion by the end of this. As the rounds played out, it continued, and it just seemed like Stylebender was starting to take over the longer the fight went on. The ground game was playing a huge factor in the fight. You could really see Alex Pereira slowing down. For a brief moment in time, it seemed like Stylebender was going to stop his biggest rival once and for all. But coming into the 5th round, an injured and hurt Alex Pereira got off the stool and decided to kick shit into second gear. That motherfucker must have done some Brazilian chant with his fucking corner team or something, because he was sitting on his stool and then he got up and just unleashed hell on Stylebender when he stood up. Motherfucker literally unlocked some primal rage. Alex Pereira ended up knocking Stylebender senseless, and that was the end of it. It was bittersweet. I think the biggest takeaway from this is one of two things. Either I don't pay my taxes, or Robert Whittaker just became the champ.